Hey guys, Colbert here. Welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. Today, we're gonna look at some spider teams that I've made for, well, we've got a spider tournament, so I thought might as well show some teams around for all the players out there that did not get TO'd or do not have an HP burn comp that can do the spider hard mode 10 in the 10 to 12 to 14 seconds category. I actually have teams doing it at 15, 25, and 30 to 35 seconds showcased here. One of the key components is having a royal guard actually in these teams. So unfortunately guys, if you don't have one or two, actually I'm showcasing two royal guards, it's going to be difficult, but the game has 800 champions. All right, we are playing a game that's 4 years old. They keep on adding champions and we'll keep on making new teams as we get more and more champions. Some of them though are key, and sometimes you're going to have two of them. It's insane on how some champions have some specific skill sets, such as the enemy max HP, and some don't, and makes those champions much more unique to have, like the Seers, the Royal Guards, the Ecclesias. All of those will be showcased today. So just have it in mind, trying different builds. There's many other videos by other creators who can showcase other teams, but for this specific one, I'll showcase those ones that use, those kind of champions. No HP burn strategies for this video. So let's get started, okay? I'll show you guys my teams, and I've made three ones. I'll show the fastest one first, and then we'll move on. The key thing, as I said here, is the Royal Guards, and I'll show all the builds at the end, so might as well get started with the showcase of the teams, and I'll explain how each of them works. And it's gonna be on hard 10. It will be more difficult climbing up and reaching hard 10 because of affinities. On hard 10, it's void affinity, so you don't have the issue of weak hits. And unfortunately, because of the weak hits, you'll have very inconsistent runs until you can get that perfect run with all the damage being dealt without the weak hit happening. So have that in mind, especially if you're running Royal Guards against the force affinity ones. It's gonna be tricky, okay? But it's not impossible to do it and go through and reach eventually hard mode 10 when you can have the highest amount of effect in terms of just getting those mythical items. So three teams. This is my main team, okay? It uses Ecclesia. As I said, I'm going to show my best team first. Ecclesia, Seer, Royal Guard, Lydia. This is the fastest team of them all. Farms it at 15 seconds and can even farm it if you get a resist on Lydia. You don't care about resist on any of the other champions and all the other ones. Just do damage. And as you can see, Lydia is the fastest at 274 with 377 accuracy. We've got the Royal Guards. And as you can see, everybody has above 230 speed here, okay? And especially Lydia has over 260, 274 actually. Then we have Seer, 216, plus another 6 speed that I get from the area bonuses. So have that in mind. You need to be around 222, I would say, to have no issues if you don't have the upgrades through the area bonuses. But it's very quick to get 3 upgrades in terms of just farming bronze bonuses. Have that in mind. And then we've got Ecclesia, who is my fastest one, but she doesn't need to be this fast or have this amount of damage. She needs to be around the 230 mark, right around that mark there, if you have it. But it doesn't play a different role that I have her so fast. Yeah, so let's get started. You don't need this here to have all of this awakenings as well. It does not affect her in terms of her damage. She'll cap out the damage because of all those buffs that will be available by the Lydia. Plus my Lydia has a shield set, so it makes things very easy. And if you want to build things without so much crit rate, you can take advantage of Ecclesia's crit rate aura. But I don't need that since I build my teams with 100%, since I want to use my champions for other things, such as the Hydras. But I'll show all the champions at the end. So let's get started with team number 1. This is a very strong team. I know all of these champions are crazy to get, but it's a team that works, and it works very, very nicely. Let's do some runs and we'll see it in action. So we need the defense down weekend. Doesn't matter if we don't land both of them. We get them this time around. There goes Ecclesia with her double hit. Then we get a big AoE burst by Royal Guard, killing the Spiralings. Another 10% happening there. And then we get the Seer to take all of them out, plus the small spiders. Because of the buffs, Seer doesn't even need the defense down weekend, and she does an insane amount of damage. Plus, as I said, having some area bonuses really helps your teams do more damage. The ignore defense, the extra crit damage, if you can have that. I don't have it at a crazy amount, but you see here how sometimes some Spiderlings survive, but it doesn't matter. Seer manages to take out both 10% of the boss's health plus the small Spiderlings, which eliminates the boss, and it farms it at 15 seconds. No failure so far. I doubt it will have any failure because I did have some runs with the defense down resisted. If you get both resisted, that might cause a failed run, I'm guessing, but that would be, 3% plus, even less than 3% actually, to have both of those happen at the same time. So have that in mind. A very, very strong team. I'll show all my gear at the end, but it's end game gear. It's the speeds really that you have to worry about. The Royal Guards do not have any Savage. I think only one of them has Savage, but it doesn't affect what they do. The other one has Relentless, and I use him for the Hydra. So yeah, it's pretty much Seer with, pure damage with Savage and Cruel, which is something that you are working on building anyway. And having this 6-star Awakening doesn't matter. If you have even a 2-star, a 3-star, a 1-star, it's enough, honestly, for Seer, since she does that one burst, and she'll be ignoring defense anyway, plus the area bonuses. Makes things very easy for this build. Then let's go over to the other team. So this other team, this one utilizes a Ghostborn, okay, and a Chimera. You don't need the Ghostborn. You can do with a Lydia instead, okay? And there's some things that you can change here. So as you can see, there's Battle Stations in there because of the cleanse that she has. This is what makes it key here, plus her aura. Her aura allows all these champions with the 239 and 235 to actually go above the minimum required speed to go before the big spider. So you don't need to have the speed up buff by the Lydia anymore. So you use Battle Sage and you actually have her so that she cleanses that sleep debuff on one of your Royal Guards. If you don't care about that and you want to use something else, you can do a Royal Guard with an immunity set or something that will help him resist. So have an immunity. I would go with immunity set, honestly. I don't think Stone Skin you would have good enough Stone Skin to consider this, because you need a 2-turn duration, since Royal Guard will go once and the Spider will go. So I would say something with a cleanse plus a speed up buff if you can find something. But Battle Sage is very easy to think of when using this. Again, Ghostborn, you don't need it, but it helps with that 100% chance to have the unresistible plus the defense down. It's very good for consistent runs. And then Chimera for the reset. And I'll show a team later on without the Chimera and without the Ghostborn and even without a Battle Sage. So that's one that one will be the most inconsistent one, I would say, in terms of some things can break in that team. But I think with better gear, it would be more consistent. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. Let's go have a look at this team. Again, everybody will go before the big spider, but we will get hit by the spider this time around. That's why it's a little bit longer for this team to finish its run. So there's a defense down. 2 AoEs go, about 50% of the boss's health. And here with an immunity set, we wouldn't get sleep. So that would be fine. There's the reset happening. We cleanse it. And then boom, defense down. There we go. AoE. We take it out. 25 seconds. Pretty consistent, I would say. And because of the Ghostborn, you have, unresistible defense down. And you also have an increased attack, which does affect the Royal Guards a little bit, but not as much as you might think. Pretty consistent run. You can try with this a lower speed Battle Sage, so she gets the sleep instead. So have that in mind, but you would need shield set for sure, maybe on Battle Sage, which is what I have, in order to not, take out your champions because of the hit that you do receive, okay? So if she is slower than the AoE, if she's a little bit faster than the AoE that she takes, she'll actually be reduced to 0 turn meter instead of the Royal Guard. But you have to play around with the speed values for that to happen, so that she gets the sleep instead of the Royal Guard. So Royal Guard gets a little bit of enough turn meter so he doesn't get reduced to 0 and has a sleep on. So have that in mind. But I'll show everything at the end. And this one's the Royal Guard team. And then finally, team number 3, right? Team number 3, this one, double Renegade. I would say you don't need to have them at level 60. The Awakenings do not matter. but awakenings do help because of how bosses work on hard mode. So decrease the damage inflicted by the boss for each awakening level on the target champion, and it increases damage received by the boss for each awakening on the attacking champion. So having awakenings does help, let's say on your royal guards when you're doing some damage, but it won't affect your other champions. Have that in mind. So the awakenings that you see here, like on the renegades, they're there honestly for just the reset. Then the royal guards, these are the same royal guards I've been using, and the same Lydia obviously. And the renegades here are basically to do what Climber does. And the renegades are there basically because it's the only easy reduced cooldowns that we can have. So there it is, defense down, weaken. AoE number 1, we'll go AoE number 2. Look at that burst. We did get some heals there, and you see the sleep there, which does affect the run a little bit. Oh, we also had smite there, so I'll do another run. Maybe smite doesn't happen, but it won't affect us that much. We did get a good amount of resets here. There's the royal guard. The other one got slept on. So I wonder if we'll have enough Terminator to go here before the small spiders. Come on. Oh yeah, there he goes. And defense down. Really boosts up the damage that they do. And yeah, 39 seconds. I think this can be faster again with the sleep. But this should be consistent as well, as long as you got the speeds, right? The speeds are difficult to get, especially if you're trying to also build them with Relentless. Let's say you're using them for the Hydra. If you're not, then you do different builds for as many royal guards as you want. You can build 2 for Hydra and then 2 for dungeons if you're crazy enough. But my royal guards, yeah, they're built a little bit different because of the fact that I do use them for Hydra. One of them is not Hydra, but the other one is, so had to build them a little bit different. So yeah, boom, there's the AoE. Get a big burst there, and we even kill one small spider there. Come on, royal guard, do your thing and kill them all. Look at that, wipes out the whole team of spiders. And 37 seconds, 39. This can actually be lower, as I said, with maybe different gear on the royal guard, so you don't get that sleep on you. But yeah, this is the easiest team I would say to make. All of them have Lydia, which is something that everybody should be working on, especially if you have your eyes on a hard mode 10. Honestly, you gotta work on your Lydia, and especially before the new faction is launched. It's a long grind, but Lydia is 100% worth it, 200% worth it. She is a defense down weekend, speed up buff, so many utilities in a kit that she has. Very unique champion, highly recommended to go for her. It will boost your account to tremendous depths, both in clan boss, Hydra, everywhere. Lydia is a must-have. But let's have a look at the gear on everybody. All right, so I have my Lydia here. There she is. Her gear is not that special. You see the refresh and the blood shield. These do not play a role on how she works, okay? The refresh, because you just need the defense down. The other resets work from the champions. The speed that she has, I know it's high, 274, 377 accuracy, but it's something that you need to be working on if hard mode 10 dungeons is something that you're looking for. Plus the War Master, which helps a little bit. Here's my Ghostborn again with the shield set. You don't need to have all of them in shield sets. It's just that I have each one for different teams, which happen to coincide now that I use them all together for this showcase. But shield set again, the damage is not needed to be there. He is there for the utility of the unresistible decreased defense. The accuracy does help if you use him somewhere else for his A1. So let's say for Fire Knight, which I do use him, the accuracy does definitely help to have, but it's more difficult to also get damage and have high accuracy. Have that in mind. Again, with War Master, but you don't need it. The damage is dealt by the other champions. War Master is needed for, let's say, your Fire Knight 10 team. Acrizia is honestly relentless, immortal for me, plus the refresh. You don't need to have all of these again, but they do help for other areas of the game. 256, 255 crit damage, 60,000 health. Pretty strong Acrizia, of course, with War Master also. And then let's move down and see the other champions, okay? So the Seer is honestly in a crazy Seer. with 317 crit damage, but with the amount of buffs and the amount of health that the boss has at that point, you don't need all that. And if I put this, the Spider's Den bonuses that I get from area bonuses is only +6, +3, even some accuracy and some ignore defense, which do help, but they're not needed. I did it before I even put the bonuses, and then I put on the bonuses just to help make my team more consistent. But the speed that she needs to have is 222. If you don't have that, you add it through the area bonuses, which is very easy to farm, even if you're having difficulties in live arena. So the Royal Guards, this is not my Royal Guard that I was using. This is my strongest Royal Guard, which I didn't touch because he's slow at 215. So have that in mind. I have another 2 Royal Guards here sitting, which these are the pretty ones. Okay, this one's the one with the Savage set, crit damage at 240%. So it wasn't insane, but the speed was high. So 239 with 240 crit damage, Savage gear, and War Master again. So War Master plays a big role with just adding a little bit of damage over the 10%. Same thing with the other one, 260% with Relentless this time around, but no accuracy. But I did build him for Hydra. That's why you see all these refresh accessories. So all of these are not needed. And if you don't have these, it doesn't play a role because he gets the resets from other champions. And all of my champions are also maxed skill on their cooldown. So don't ask about that, please. And then we have Battle Sage, who again doesn't care about having any masteries. But you see here, she's not really attacking, but the masteries I had on her was from an older showcase. 267 in speed with the shield set. She doesn't need the resistance or the accuracy. She's just there for the speed, all right? Just for the speed, so that she can cleanse after her second time that she goes and takes a turn. The shield helps keep your team alive when you get the hit from the boss. Just have that in mind. You will get hit. It's gonna hurt if you don't have at least 1 or even 2 shield sets, I would say, to ensure everything works right. And then finally, the Renegades, all right? The Renegades, again, I think I have them with a shield. All right, here's my Renegade, number 1. She's built with a 241 speed. So she's a little bit faster than the Royal Guards. If you want to have her slower, you can definitely do that, and she'll do the reset after the Royal Guards go. But on this showcase, she did just the A2 first, and then she did the A3, doing the reset. She's just there, does you know, her work, which is just the reset. Honestly, the 2-turn reset. All right, there's my other Renegade again with the shield set. Shield sets are crazy. How many shield sets did I use? Honestly, I don't think I needed all these shield sets. And I know they do. I think they stack. But as you saw, you know, with some protection at least, you need to have it there so that your team is protected. And the shield sets really help. Her speed is very low, 187. With faster speeds, I would think that the team would go a little bit better. So have that in mind. So she would make the team maybe under 30 seconds. Not sure. Didn't bother moving some gear around because it did work for me, and I'm totally happy with that. But if you don't have the Climbers, the Ghostborns, you have the Lydia and the 2 Royal Guards, you can play around and make a team worth for Spider, and then that is consistent also for your CVC farming, and also for when the Spider tournaments are up, especially when there's a 2x on Spider, makes the tournaments go very quickly. Also your silver goes, your energy goes very quickly, but your silver goes up very quickly as well. Anyway, guys, this was the video. I hope these 3 teams really helped you out. If you have any questions, leave it down below in the comments. If you have any other teams that you want to see showcased, let me know down below. I'll see if I can build those for you guys. Thank you all for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. See ya.